In one of my last TikToks, I talked about how I am more ready for a real, healthy, securely attached relationship than ever before out of my last relationship. And one of the reasons why I knew that this relationship was not going to work was how much work I did in the relationship that was not being reciprocated. In fact, when we broke up, one of the things my ex told me was that doing enough healing work on my anxious attachment, which is why we broke up. I never responded because I didn't feel the need to, but little does he know how much actual work I did during the relationship. I would talk to him about it. I would tell him about things that I was learning in one ear, out the other. He was never doing any work on his avoidant attachment. But I digress. The amount of work that I did during my relationship to heal my anxious attachment was revolutionary for my evolution. I can honestly say with confidence that I am securely attached because I read and listened to podcasts, journaled, meditated, did everything, went to therapy to try to heal. And I did that because I wanted to show up for him and I wanted to love him properly. I didn't want to hurt him. He, however, never did any work on his avoidant attachment, which is why we ultimately ended up breaking up. And he doesn't see in his delusion that he should have done any or needed to do any, and thinks I didn't do any, although I did. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that I did to heal my anxious attachment. I listened to podcasts. Two noteworthy podcasts that I listened to were The Anxious Love Coach. This is really good for somebody that has a hard time regulating in a relationship, who obsesses, who ruminates, who tries to change their partner. During my time listening to this podcast, I realized that I probably have a case of ROCD, which is relationship obsessive compulsive disorder. And it's when you overly think about your relationship and you don't have a good balance in your life of your relationship and yourself. The Mark Groves podcast was key. I loved listening to him. He's all about relationships. The way he delivers it is so beautiful. And honestly, it gave me hope that there are secure, awakened men working on themselves. And now I will settle for no less than a man like Mark Groves. I read many books during the course of the relationship. The Body Keeps the Score was one. It helped me recognize my body's reactions to anxiety and how to self-soothe. Anxiously Attached. God, this book is so good. If you buy one book, get this book. In fact, get the Audible version because she has several meditations in there to help you self-soothe. She has such a soothing, loving voice. She seems like your friend. This is a must for any anxiously attached person. The Overthinking in Relationships Fix. And last, Too Good to Leave, Too Bad to Stay. This one was key because it actually helped me leave the relationship. I'm going to do a part 2 to help you recognize toxicity in your relationship.